All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division again, talking about the best young fighter and one of the best older fighters that the division has seen this century in Jaron Boots Ennis and Keith one-time Thurman. Jaron Ennis does not mince words with him and says, man, you acting like we ain't already sent you the contract after Keith Thurman says he's not afraid of him. Send him an offer and he'll fight Jaron Ennis. He'll fight anybody. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're in the 147-pound division, and the subject matter of this video is going to be the back and forth that has taken place between Jaron Boots Ennis, who is, in my opinion, the best contender in boxing. I'm going to throw that out there. I know there's some other people that are out there very close to that. David Benavidez, the one that really sticks out in my mind the most at 168 pounds, when I'm around the same age as Jaron Ennis, but definitely, man, one heck of a fighter. But Jaron Ennis, to me, I just think from what I see, can be just such an exceptional fighter. There is conversations about what he's going to do next, seeing as more than likely Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford will be fighting again. I don't know if that December 31st date is real or not. I hear that December 30th is the date. I know that there has been casinos reserved in Las Vegas by TGB, which is the promoter for PBC, for December 30th and December 9th. So not sure which one, if that fight's going to fall on either one of those, but that does mean that we're not really going to see you're not going to see either one of those guys in a ring with either of the two fighters we're talking about in this particular video. Before I get into the details of it, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, especially the ones that support in the super thank you for everything that you do to support the channel. Well, Jaron Ennis, trainer Bozy Ennis, said that Keith Thurman had been offered the fight between the two of them for a 147-pound showdown. And after that, Keith Thurman responded to questions regarding whether or not he would be willing to fight Jaron Ennis with the statement, yeah, man, I'd be willing to fight anybody. Just send me the contract. Send me the contract, and absolutely I will. I'm willing to fight him. Now, when you say send the contract, obviously that means, he's going to have to read it and going to have to say what he likes and he doesn't like or what have you, right? But that's what his stance is. So Jaron reasonably says, hold on, man, you acting like you ain't already gotten the offer. Man, basically as the young people say, you're cap. That's cap. Man, I'm still not comfortable saying that, but that's cap, right? That's not true. You're being dishonest. You know you got that fight. Man, you don't want to fight me. Now, what is the truth of the matter? Nobody will really know because, hey, man, it is what it is. He says, and he says. Now, for Showtime's purpose, Showtime, I do believe Steven Espinoza said that they would be very interested in the fight. I don't recall whether or not Steven Espinoza said that they offered one party or the other the fight, but that they would definitely want to make that fight, and that Showtime has been a big backer of Jaron Ennis. So I think that is probably a fight that they would be very, very interested in. Here's the good and the bad to that fight, though. these guys are going to want that fight to be for a championship. Jaron Ennis probably doesn't care, because Jaron Ennis is going to say, look, man, I'll fight Keith Thurman because he's that win I need. He's that fighter that I need to get onto my resume, where I can say I beat a former world champion that only has one loss, that has wins over many of the other top welterweights of it, specifically within his era. And you can put to rest the question that comes up constantly, which is, who have you fought? Who have you beat? What have you done? All of those type of things, right? And beating Keith Thurman in spectacular fashion would create another highlight reel for him and generate more and more interest for Jaron Ennis, which I'm telling you is bubbling up. I mean, I've watched Jaron Ennis for a very long time, man. And just to digress for a second, people that just sometimes you got to just address the trolls. The people who say, oh my God, Errol lost. Now you're talking about Jaron Ennis. Man, I was talking about Jaron Ennis before the fight, before Errol fought Terrence. I was talking about Jaron Ennis. I think I was talking about Jaron Ennis before Terrence Crawford got to welterweight. That's how long I've been talking about Jaron Ennis and doing Jaron Ennis videos. The only reason I stopped for a while is because he didn't have a fight for a while because of the fact that he had promotional issues when Cameron Duncan went from becoming his manager to his promoter, and there was another promotional company that was working with Jaron that he replaced with Cameron Duncan. That said, what is in it though for Keith Thurman? That's the problem. Keith Thurman is somebody that is not starving for money. Say what you want. Keith Thurman is clearly made a lot of money in his career, and he's not hasty to get in the ring and fight any particular person. He says what he wants is a fight for a championship. So he has a fight that's probably going to be lined up already for him if Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. vacate those belts, which will be the winner of Yordenis Ugas versus Mario Barrios, which is for, I do believe, a title eliminator for the WBC, where Keith Thurman is already the number one. So if that becomes vacant, the winner of those two guys are going to fight. Now, it would be interesting that I think what's going to wind up happening is that would be Yordenis Ugas, right? So Keith Thurman, Yordenis Ugas has probably something that's a little bit more, up Keith Thurman's alley at this point in time, because Jaron Ennis, man, is absolutely positively no joke, and somebody that can run through you and put you in the gatekeeper category very, very fast, right? Which Keith Thurman, by inactivity, is actually kept himself out of, because he's only lost one fight, and that's to Manny Pacquiao. Other than that, he's just been inactive. So I can't put him in that you're a gatekeeper type of mode, because he hasn't lost enough in order to be a gatekeeper. However, that's definitely a fight that I think is going to happen eventually. One of these guys are going to have to get in the ring with Jaron Ennis, whether it is Keith Thurman, whether it is Errol Spence. If Errol Spence wants to stay, even at 154, he may have to fight him, or he may fight him, or Terrence Crawford, especially Terrence Crawford. If Terrence Crawford decides to take that belt, decides to keep those belts, because I don't really know what his options are other than being at 147. Because, but anyway, I've walked through that in several different videos. But at the end of the day, the he said stuff. Look, man, I want to know when Jaron Ennis' next fight is going to be, and what Keith Thurman's next fight is going to be, because more than likely it's not going to be each other. However, those guys are definitely going to be on a collision course at one point in time. One thing I will say about Jaron, though, is I hope that when he winds up, because I do believe that he'll be able to do this, become the undisputed champion, all of that he doesn't pull a move a lot of these guys pull when, they're the hungry guys searching for people and they won't fight them. And then for example, Jaron Ennis gets everything that he wants and he's able to get, and you get somebody else coming up, say, let's just, because he's fighting today, say Richardson Hitchens, and Richardson Hitchens is at 147 beating everybody, and then Jaron to say, Nah, he hasn't done enough. Man, I don't like this. I don't like that, how that's circling around in boxing right now. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.